right, let's go ahead and hop straight into it. So, starting the week, Monday session right here, we look back at the 3 hour. The 3 hour is still within range, still within the same range it's been in since December 7th. So, today makes a full month that price has been in the same higher time frame 3 hour range. So, what we want to do is go ahead and hop to our 1 hour. We see price Friday kind of rejected off of this 3 hour supply zone and started pushing down. So let's just see where 1 hour structure is currently. So we can go ahead and pull back up. We can look for the last spot that we know 1 hour structure was at, which was right here. So we can go ahead and draw this on. Actually, was 1 hour structure there? Yes, it was actually. Okay. So we can go ahead and draw that on there. Draw this on here. 1 hour there. 1 hour there. So the first thing we want to pay attention to, so price pulled back, didn't break, pulled back again, and then it broke. So this was the lowest point price pulled back to before breaking structure. So price pulled back to here, then it pushed above here. What happened after that? Price pulled back right around this same area, so we'll just drag it over, pull back, and then pushed above again. All low probabilities. Then price pushed below, but couldn't close. So it tested below, pulled back, tested below, tested the low again, pulled back, and then it finally broke the low again, broke the low again. So at this point, what we want to do is go ahead, bring this down to here. The high stays the same. And honestly, one thing that I did miss that I will go ahead and admit is I did miss that was a high probability zone. So we can draw this on as a high probability open zone. 1 hour. Let's go ahead, bring it down. So our 50%, we'll just pull it back because it is a little bit messy, but it actually comes like right to this candle. So I'll go ahead and do it right at that candle. And we can get rid of this one. All right. So we have a supply up here. So after that, price slightly pulled back, pushed below again, pushed all the way down to this low. So it pushed to this low, and it slightly pulled back right to here. Well, actually, no, it pulled back to here because that's where the pullback started. So it pushed down to here, and then it pulled back to this high, and then pushed low. So then, after that, price broke to the upside. Low probability. So then it came to this high. So 1 hour structure right now is in an uptrend. Let's see what time our thing is at. It's 5, so we'll do one more. So as of right now, price is in an uptrend. Going into 7 o'clock, it might break it. We're not sure. But because we're in our session, we're not really concerned whether it breaks it or not. We're going to focus on the low time frame structure and see what happens. Now, as far as what phase price is in, let's go ahead and go through our market structure. So price impulse to the upside, creating a new high. Retrace to the downside, couldn't break that low, and then gave us a continuation. So we want to focus on this up pushing leg on the 10-minute. So we did show up about 7:30, so 1, 2, 3. So that puts us right around close enough to 7:30 so that we can get a good analysis. So again, we were focusing on this up pushing leg. What do I see? I see price formed a high here. On the 10-minute, pull back, and then broke that high here, here, here. So it is high probability, and it is below the 50% level. And again, I know it is above the 50% level because of how high the high is. So this is the low and demand area. This is the high. So I know this is above 50%, but we can go ahead and do it just for the sake of showing. Boom, we see it's within 50%. There's no need to adjust it because this is the entire supply of the last move before it, I mean, its entire demand of the last move before it broke out. All right. So now seeing this, we see that prices impulse to the upside and now started a retracement. So on the 5 minute, we want to focus on this leg if structure allows us to. So we go to the 5 minute, and there really is no structure within this leg. So now we just want to find where was the last bit of structure. So we go down, right? So we see the last bit of structure was right here. Price had this high, pulled back, and then broke out above, and it pushed all the way to the same high as the 10 minute. So we have a 5 minute demand as well. And we're going to draw them inside of each other because they're both action zones. So when I say action zones, I mean they're both zones that I'll get into. If price comes to the 5 minute area, I'm willing to get in off a 5 minute confirmation. Now let's say it breaks this 5 minute and closes past it, but it still stays within the 10. Now I will look for a 10 minute confirmation to enter. So that is why I'm going to leave both of them, because both of them can serve as an opportunity zone that I'm looking to take advantage of and get into a trade off of. So the one thing we want to do before we move forward is look on the 2 minute to see if the 2 minute and 5 minute matches. We go to the 2 minute, and so we had a high here. It pulled back just like on the 5 minute, but then it pushed, and then it pulled back. So the 2 minute and 5 minute are two different zones. So we are not going to be looking on the 2 minute unless we get a break of structure and it creates low probability 5 minute. So let's go through. Let's see if we get a test of some sort. Boom. It's close, but didn't test it. Close. Boom. So we got our first test. So let's go ahead. Boom. We got a confirmation candle here. Let's see if we're going to get entered into the upside. So this will be about a 9 pip stop loss. So let's see what happens. Boom. Nope. We get another bearish candle. So now we're looking for another entry confirmation to the upside. Cool. We get a nice bullish candle right here. Let's see if we get entered. We're going to pull it down. This one I will put right under here because it had a lot of upside momentum. You see, it almost was 100%. So it's more like 75% full. So I will put my stop loss under the candle versus under the structure in this particular situation. Let's see if we get entered into here. Nope. We got another bearish candle. So let's see if we get another entry confirmation. So actually, let's go into a little depth right here from this point. So at this point, you can make the best business decision you think. For me, I would give price one more bullish candle. Now, if the bullish candle pushes extremely far past this area, I won't get in because that's basically you chasing price. However, if it gives me a bullish candle within this area, maybe a little bit past it, I'll give price one more chance to see if it's going to push through. And if it doesn't, even if it gives me bullish candle, bearish candle, I'm no longer looking to get in because I feel like I'm chasing price at that point. I already have a test, it's pushing off, and if it's going to keep consolidating as it slowly goes up, it's not giving me any clean entry, so I'm just going to ignore it. So for me, as of right now, I'm still willing to enter if I get another confirmation candle. So let's see what happens next. Perfect. So we get a little bit of a confirmation candle. There's a couple reasons. So once I got this confirmation candle, it was a couple reasons that I was willing to still enter around here. One, the moving average crossed. It bounced off the moving average. And price has yet to give me two back-to-back push candles in a row. You see, it gave me a confirmation here, then went bearish. Gave me a bullish confirmation, then went bearish. So now it's giving me another confirmation bullish. So if it can go bullish, I'm very confident in this move. So I'm going to give it a little space. Look to enter here. I'm going to pull it down to the low of this candle again, which is about 12. And we're going to go from there. Let's see if we get entered. Boom. I do get entered, but price does finish bearish. So yes, that does give me like, maybe it's going to go my way. Maybe it's not. But hey, we are already in this trade. We have already made the business decision that this trade was worth it. So we're going to pull our price up to the 26.5, which is our TP. Want to go ahead and mark off our 75% level. So that's going to be 26.5 times 0.75. That's about 19.875. So about 19.9. 19.9. Do not need to do that. So 26.5. Perfect. So let's go to the 2 minute. Is there anywhere to really manage this trade? Focusing on this up move, not really. Like it created a high here, but then it gave us a low probability break. So I wouldn't even look at this as an exit opportunity unless it's a high probability. Um, so really it's just one of those trades that either it's going to hit the stop loss or it's going to go our way. And as we see, it stopped us out. So this was my first loss of the day. We did take a full loss here. So now we go back and look to reevaluate. So what I see is, hey, remember, I give each zone 2 chances. Now, because price tested here the first time, if I'm going to get in on the 5 minute again, I need it to test lower. So what I'm going to do is pull this zone down. Now, for me, I like pulling it down to the body in this situation because right now this included the wick and the high, but now let's pull it down to the body. When we pull it down to the body, that's below this area that was last tested, and it gives me more of the meat of this market structure before price broke to the upside. So if price does pull back into this 5 minute/10 minute area again, as long as it doesn't break below the 5 minute, I'm willing to enter again off 5 minute confirmation. So I have one trade left for the day. So let's see what happens. Boom, we get a nice little test there. Let's see. Perfect. We get a nice bullish confirmation. Look to enter. Now, I was going to say in real time, I entered a little bit late, and that was just because like the last 10 seconds of the candle, I had my trade set up, and then it started pushing through where my original entry was going to be. So I had to readjust my trade on the fly. So it caused me to get into this trade a little bit later than I typically would. Now, most times I use pending orders, so that's why that caused an issue for me. In situations where market's moving like that, though, I think I'm just gonna have to do market execution rather than using those pending orders. Um, just because, so I get in right where I would like to get in. Um, but either way, let's go from here. We're at about 10.5 is our stop loss. Um, 10.5 is 11.5, so that would be 23.5 as our TP. And let's go ahead and mark off our 70% level. So 23.5 times 0.75, it's about 17.6. So we'll pull it down, 17.6. Partial. And then we're back to 23.5. Okay, let's see if we get entered. Boom, we do get entered onto this trade. So now I want to go to the 2 minute and focus on this uptrending point. So as of right now, price hasn't really established a high on the 2 minute as far as this impulse goes. So let's just get a few candles and see if it does. Perfect. So right here, price has now established a 2 minute high as far as this upside impulse goes. And we just want to see if it's going to break this point again. So let's see what happens. Price wicked above it, didn't break. Boom. Perfect. So we do get a high probability break because we see we got a break here and then price pushed above. And then it looks like it's solidifying a high here. So what I would do is bring this point up to here as the new high and bring this. Now I can draw this zone here. Now this zone is going to function as my early exit opportunity. So if price breaks and closes below this 2 minute zone, I'm going to exit immediately versus waiting from price to hit my stop loss. If it doesn't and price keeps going and gives me new structure, then hey, I'm going to continue to move this zone up, which is me also moving my stop loss up, which is protecting my trade. So in this case, the only reason I'm drawing this zone and protecting my trade is because it gave me a high probability 2 minute opportunity. If it was just one candle push, I would have not drawn this zone and I would have just been holding my trade. Either it hits my full stop loss or hit my full TP. Once it creates high probability 2 minute though, then I'm able to make the adjustment to protect myself a little better in the market. Now, price can still continue pushing higher as well. So let's see if it does. It does. It creates another high here. Then it pulls back. Perfect. So it pulls back. So let's see if it breaks and closes below here or if it continues to push up. So it's testing, rejects off. Now, again, I probably would have entered around here, but I only have one trade left and I already took my one trade. So I only get two trades a day. So I would have potentially looked to scale in off of this zone had I had an extra trade, but I don't have an extra trade for the day. This is my second trade that I'm currently in, so I'm only using the 2 minute for management purposes because I don't have any more entries left to potentially enter off of. So let's see. Price wicked below but did not close. Boom, and it starts to push up. Let's see if it can break this high. Perfect. We get one wick above the high. We get a second push, but it didn't break this high. So this isn't high probability, it's low probability. So we'll identify the new high and we'll identify the new low from the pullback. But we also understand that, hey, I'm still, if price breaks below this zone, I'm entering. I don't care about this low because it's low probability. I only care about this zone that I currently have. Now, what I could do is go to the 1 minute and focus on this impulse and see if there's anywhere to protect myself from there. But if we look, what do we see? The 1 minute impulse, so it was a high here, price broke, 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 broke. So the 1 minute and the 2 minute have the exact same structure. So it really doesn't matter whether I'm on the 1 minute or 2 minute in this case. So I'm going to continue managing it from the 2 minute. So let's see what happens. So price does make its way back up to the high. Let's see if it can break it. Nope. It rejects from that high, pushes back down into here. See what happens. Cool, giving us a little bullishness. And then it breaks and closes below the low and the zone. So then we exit this trade for a small loss right here. And that's pretty much how my day went. I took two losses today, but I only took one full loss. My second one was like a partial loss. So that was beautiful. Now, some people might be thinking, well, why didn't you take any profit from up here? When you seen it reject, why didn't you get out? It's not a part of my trading plan. It's that simple. You feel me? Sometimes you got to understand that your trading plan doesn't always necessarily give you the best option, if that makes sense. Like I'm trying to figure out, I guess that's the best way to say it. It doesn't always give you the best option. Sometimes your trading plan might frustrate you, right? My trading plan specifically states if price doesn't break and close above here or give me any additional structure, I'm not looking to exit my trade early. It doesn't matter how much in profit I am. You feel me? And I follow my trading plan every single time because I know in the long run, it's going to make me the most profitable that I can be. So in this situation, my trading plan turned let a trade that was in profit turn into a small loser. But that's just this time. That's just today's trade. I know from my back testing and my previous trades that more times than not, me managing my trades like this keeps me in my trade so that I can get as much profit as possible and hit my 1 to 2, or it just protects me in general. Today, was it a little frustrating having it get so close to my 75% level and then push off and enter and exit for a small loss? Yeah, but that's my trading plan. Now, what I can do is on the weekend, go back to the drawing board, look at this trade, and see if there's anything extra I can add to my trading plan or look to adjust and tweak with my trading plan so that things like this don't happen. But honestly, I don't think there is. The whole reason my 75% level came about was because winners would push up and then come down and turn into losers or break evens. So that's what the 75% level was there for. But today, it just didn't work in my favor. I'm not mad about it. I'm not frustrated about it. At the end of the day, I followed my trading plan to a T, and it didn't work out in my favor today. I still get to show up tomorrow. I still get to use my trading plan tomorrow. And the best part about today is I didn't even take two full losses. I basically took a loss and a half. Really, not even half. I took a loss and a quarter, which means when I show up tomorrow, if I hit on my first trade 1 to 2, I'm already out of drawdown that I was in and back in the profit. So that's the beauty of at least having a way to cut my losses. Um, but these were the two trades I had today. Um, and what I will do is I'll show you what the outcome would have been. Because some people, if you're watching, you might feel like, well, I get why you had the 2 minute there, but maybe you should have stayed in. It would have reversed off. Let's see. Nope, not at all, actually. What actually happened, so me being able to cut my loss here was good. So that's why it's great to follow your trading plan. Because let's say I would have gotten greedy and said, oh, no, I'm not going to exit here. I would have ended up taking a full loss instead of a small loss. So that's why we follow our trading plan to a T every time. Because if you break your rule once, in the back of your head, you're going to be thinking, if the situation's right, I'll break my rules again. And that's just setting you up for a whole downward spiral from where you came from, which is being an unprofitable trader. Profitable traders follow their trading plan. Does it work in their favor 100% of the time? No, but they understand that it's a high probability that it is going to work in my favor. And I can accept the few times that my edge doesn't work in my favor because of the many, many, many other high probabilities setups that I do get that do work in my favor. So that's today's session. That's today's trades. Um, I'll show back up tomorrow and let's see what happens.